Hello and welcome back to the Percepta Leadership Series on this Friday, March 10th. Very excited to be back today and bringing you guys some more content from our Percepta leaders here. Today, I'm joined by a couple of my colleagues in the TA side of the house. So very excited to have Angela and Betty with me. For those of you guys that have continued to watch the show, very much appreciate your support. Continue keeping up with us. We have a lot of good things planned for this year. So looking forward to bringing you some more content. But today we're going to be talking about our people. And that's what our folks here in TA do is help bring in some really great talent to our organization. So really excited to kind of dig into that. But before we get into too much of the nitty gritty, I would love to have Angela and Betty do a little quick intro, kind of tell you who they are, what they do, what they look after, and we'll get right into it. So Angela, you're up first. So Angela, welcome to the Perceptive Leadership Series, and thanks for being here. And why don't you go ahead and give everybody a little background on yourself, and then we'll kick it over to Betty.
All right, thanks, Kellen. Hi, everyone. I'm Angela Bridge. I have been with Percepta for 3 years this month. I can't believe it. It's been a very quick 3 years. And I've been in recruiting my entire career, so close to 20 years now. I love working with Percepta. I've said this in other company videos as well. Betty is what we call each other, our partner in crime. We work very well together, and I manage the Houston team and what I guess used to be the Asheville team. A team. We have a team. I have a team of 7, and we call ourselves Whoville because we're Houston and Asheville. So, but again, really great team, not just in TA, but across all of Percepta, and just really enjoy working with everybody here.
Yeah, and did you guys never worked together before Percepta? Did you? Because
No.
it seems like you guys are like long lost sisters. So
Yeah.
well, that's awesome. I can't believe it's been 3 years already. I know
Yes.
this month for me is going to be 4 years, so crazy. Thanks for being here. Really appreciate it. Betty, why don't we hear a little from you?
Okay, well, thank you for having me. My name is Betty Scott, and March seems to be a popular month because this month will be 4 years that I've been here. And I love every minute from Percepta. I came from human resources in my last company. I plan to retire there. I was there for 17 years. After coming to Percepta within 6 months, I knew I found my home. I cover the Melbourne and the Dearborn location in New Jersey. And our team is called DJ M&M because we have people from Dearborn, New Jersey, Melbourne, and Manila. So we like to give ourselves names and love the team, love all the teams working together. And Percepta, I have to say, they are a very supportive group. So I'm very happy to be here to talk about our TA adventures.
I love this team naming thing. I've known about it, but just sitting here hearing you guys, it's so funny, and it's so about the culture that we have here. So really cool stuff. Maybe we need to get you guys some like shirts made or something.
We do.
Yeah, we do.
So yeah, maybe we'll do that. Well, thank you guys both for being here. Really looking forward to diving in a little bit about what's going on with TA this year. So I'm just gonna kind of get going and talk about what we have going on. So there's a lot happening in TA this year. I'm sure that we would love to hear about. So why don't you guys give us a quick rundown, kind of what's going on, looking for into 2023.
Okay, well, I can start. Last year we did where we were talking about how we went TA, you had to have a certain amount of time, experience before you came in, but we wanted to invest into our talent here. So we had steps to enable for people internally that are interested in our program. And so we had the entry-level TA position and TA2 and TA3, and we started that in 2022. Did I miss anything about that, Angela?
No, I just and so far it's really, we're really seeing the value in promoting people from within Percepta into the TA organization. We have a few now that have been promoted, and they're just really excelling. And so I cannot wait to see where, we're doing that restructure in 2022 is going to help us out even more in 2023 and pave the way for even more Percepta employees to maybe, start a new adventure within maybe TA.
So talk to me a little bit more about that. So we're bringing people that maybe don't have a ton of experience in TA to the organization to kind of help. Is that what it is?
Yes. So that's kind of what Betty was talking about. We restructured in the fact that we created different levels within TA, right? So we have recruiters, or we call them talent acquisition specialists, that come in and maybe they don't have any recruiting experience, but we see something within them that we really feel that they would be a really great addition to the talent acquisition team. And so we've made an entry level role within talent acquisition to where people can come in with actually no recruiting experience, but we teach them how to recruit from recruiting 101, and then teach them our process. And like I said, from what we've seen from the people that we have promoted, it's been very valuable. And they come from a different line of business, and they bring their knowledge of that business to talent acquisition as well. So it helps the TA team. They teach, the TA team what the ins and outs of that specific role. And then, again, they add value when maybe then they're recruiting for that department that they used to work in. Yeah. So like I said, it's real. We've found that it's really added value to our team, but also trying to bring in a better quality of candidate as well.
I love it. I think that does a couple different things in my brain, so bear with me here. But number one, it's really great to kind of sometimes bring somebody that has a little bit different outlook on what they're doing because they've been in a different role. And they may say something to you guys who've been in the industry for a long time, and you're like, oh, wow, I guess I never really saw it that way or thought about it in this way. So it can kind of shine a little light on things that you naturally can get maybe a little tunnel vision on. So really cool approach. And the other thing that I really think is awesome here is, we talk about talent mobility a whole lot on all of these things that we do. I love seeing talent mobility starting from the TA organization. And that's something that I feel like is really unique and cool. And just makes it like you guys are leading by example with the things that you're doing with that. And so that's really, really cool. So the other thing that kind of piggybacks right along inside with that is the big gig. And I know we talked about that with Adele the last time that we were on the leadership series, but that's something else that the TA team is doing as well as the big gig. You guys want to talk about that at all?
Yeah, well, I think I think OD or is that right, Betty? Is
the organizational development portion?
Heads up most of it.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, I think that's also a really great development opportunity for people that are interested in new different roles, and it gives them that pathway that kind of like we were talking about with somebody that doesn't have any recruiting experience. It gives those people for the big gig, it gives them kind of that pathway to get their feet wet and see, is this something that I really am interested in? Is this something that I really like to do? So definitely a great program that Percepta has created for
we're really investing in our own talent. The big gigs, you could start from little gigs, and then there's different level of gigs. So I think it's amazing where we're really practicing what we're preaching.
Yeah, it definitely. And to you guys' point, OD is kind of running it, but it is a talent mobility effort. So I think it comes into play here. I just had a question for you guys. For the people that are watching that are maybe interested in doing something like getting hired into the TA organization, I'd love to hear what you guys kind of like, what stuck out to you guys about the people that you've brought onto the TA org that maybe people can be thinking about if they're interested in coming from a different line in Percepta to maybe come into the TA team?
Well, the first one we had when we were interviewing for TA coordinators, we had some really great candidates, and I have to say, Angela's like, I want them all, but we can only pick a couple. But the people that weren't selected, they did so very well that we remembered them, and they eventually became a part of our organization in a different role as recruiters. So we have to say we have 5 people that we were promoted from other programs into TA, and they're doing amazing.
Yes. And like Betty said, when we interviewed them for a completely different role, they made a huge impact on us. And I think I recently was on site, and one of our classes had started that day. And I talked with them, and I let that class know that even if you don't get the role that you're interviewing for, always make sure that, you're really doing your best, doing your research before the interview, because you have no idea what an impact it could make on your interviewers. And so, like Betty was saying, the people that we interviewed, like one of them, she had a very engaging personality. She was very enthusiastic. She was very driven. And we could tell that she was great with people. And so she just really made an impact on Betty and I, and we remembered her. And so when we did have that opportunity come up for that entry level talent acquisition specialist that didn't require any previous recruiting experience, she was somebody that first came to our minds because she had just made such a huge impact on us.
So the 2 that weren't selected for coordinators, they really stood out, and those 2 became our specialists when we had the entry level specialist positions come in. So it was very successful. And like I said, they're doing amazing because they bring so many different ideas and fresh ideas to the table.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I love hearing this story because it's just like, you just never know the impact that you're making. So I think it's really, like, to your guys' point, it's so important to just do your homework, be prepared, be ready, and give it everything that you have, because even if the one that you're maybe talking about or interviewing for at that specific moment isn't the right fit, maybe it's because there's something else that they have you in mind for. So I think that's a really cool point, and something for, anybody that's watching could be having that in their brain when they're looking at interviewing. So really, really awesome stuff. I really appreciate you guys talking about that. So, okay. So TA doesn't just end at the initial hire. So once we're hired, it's, kind of, sometimes it's like, okay, TA just brings people in and then you got kind of transferred over to HR, but that's not really how it works. So how are we keeping our new hires engaged and interested in their career at Percepta?
Well, one thing that we also do is, we have the new hires come in, but they get introductions from our leadership team and different leaderships from all different programs. They come in and they speak to the new hires, which they're very appreciative of, because we're taking the time, to talk to people that, they're not working for us, but we tell them our Percepta story. How we came in, a lot of stories, they come in as agents, they get promoted to this program, they were interested in that. So all the leadership that comes in and talks to the new hires, they tell their story of how much that they love the program, love the company. It wasn't just the job, but they can see a career path for them. And then we share our career path to them so they can tell that, we're just not saying things. Everybody's giving example of what their position was. I tell about how I came in as a recruiter, and I'm not a recruiter anymore. It was just the career path, and the support that you're getting while you're on your journey is amazing. So we always tell them, you get in what you put in, and here's the process. Here's the proof is in the pudding.
Yeah.
So It's really nice to hear, and they're so appreciative that we actually take time, and it's not just one person, not two, it's just like 5 or 6, or and it's different people all the time, different stories. So it's just great. It's a great feeling.
I actually have, I have a similar story to Betty. I started as a senior recruiter, and now I'm a manager. Again, that promotion and the fact that Percepta really does invest in its people. But I wanted to mention, out of my team of 7, 4 of them came from other programs, or 3 of them, I believe, came from other programs and were, transitioned into TA. And so again, we really do practice what we preach. And I personally, I think I would, in most cases, rather find somebody within the organization. They already have some background about Percepta, and when you invest in your people, it's proven that they will stick with you, and that's what you really want is people that are going to be around you and be very valuable for the company.
Absolutely. I love that you guys are kind of humanizing yourselves a little bit, because it can be a little intimidating when you go into an interview sometimes and you're thinking about who you're interviewing with. And it's like, maybe it's somebody on TA, or maybe it's a manager or something else. And it can be very much like, and you want to make a good first impression, obviously, but it's really great that you guys are kind of helping to just ease that a little bit and bring people in comfortably. And I think that's really, really cool. And I love being a part of the team that, is at least part of the team that's on there. I mean, I'm not in TA, but you guys are still in the same realm as me. So it's really, really awesome to hear this stuff, and bringing cool people in the organization is always important, because, those good people are who we work with every day. So it's really great to hear that stuff. So awesome. And you guys are very, very obviously and clearly leading by example, and I love it. So keep it up. Keep those cool names coming along. I want to make t-shirts for you guys. Last thing I had, just really quick, either of you guys have any hard positions you're looking at filling right now that you want to talk about? Anything that you want to plug? Anything that maybe I can put in the comments below? Anything like that?
We have right now, we're looking for a senior data architect position that we're recruiting for. It's on LinkedIn and it's on our website. So if you're interested or know anybody that's interested, please send them our way.
I'll plug that in the comments below so people can see it here. Perfect. Angela, anything for you?
Yes. We have a global compensation and benefits analyst role. We're looking for somebody that has heavy compensation, 5 or more years of compensation experience, that has experience working within a large organization, and has call center background as well, some call center backgrounds. We're also looking for a senior manager of CX solutions and a senior data warehouse developer as well. So, awesome. If you know anybody, or if you're in the industry, then please, pass it along, and we'll get it to the right recruiter for sure.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tag you guys in our little post here so that people can get your contact information through LinkedIn, and I'll post those jobs that you guys just mentioned below. And anybody that's watching that maybe knows some cool people that want to come and join an awesome org, please hit me up, hit Angela up, hit Betty up. I'll put you guys in contact, whatever we need to do to make sure we bring in some really great people. So thank you guys so much for all that you do. Thank you for helping to bring us great colleagues. I appreciate everything that you guys do every day. And thank you for everybody that watches and continues to support the Percepta Leadership Series. And stay tuned. Much more to come. Thank you, everybody. Hope everybody has a great weekend.
Bye.
Yes.
Bye.